Next, Miss Missouri Teen Volunteer 2022 is Greta CLARK.
Hi, I'm Greta CLARK, and I'm not Miss Forest Park. I'm Miss Missouri Teen Volunteer. Miss Forest Park Teen Volunteer was my title whenever I was competing.
Currently, you are a student. What do you want to become in future?
I would like to be a history teacher. I've always really loved history, and it's something that I find super interesting. So I'm hoping that I can teach little kids about history because it's something I love to do. I competed at Miss Missouri Outstanding Teen over this summer. This year, wait, no, last year. I forgot that it's 2022. Oh my goodness. But that was my first pageant with a scholarship program. When I was younger, I did more like beauty pageants and those types of things. It's absolutely crazy, but they have their stuff together super well. Also, the people that are involved have worked so hard to make sure that they're making it amazing for all of the girls competing. It was such an enjoyable weekend for me. But just the people involved in the atmosphere that's around it, I really love the idea of going back to what pageantry was. And it's something that I've always loved watching, and I'm super excited to be able to go on a national stage. I really didn't believe it for a second. I got like all lightheaded. I was like, "Ooh, did they just say my name?" I did not believe it for a second, but then I was like, "Oh my God, they said my name." And I was out of head. I almost completely forgot what it felt like because I was just so happy and so present in the moment that everything just kind of faded away. And I was like, I did this. I achieved my goal, and I'm so proud of where I am right now.
Becoming Miss Missouri Teen Volunteer, is it your goal of the year? But it's not the ultimate goal. Your ultimate goal is to win Miss Volunteer Teen America, I imagine.
Well, that's my goal now. Yeah, I'm hoping that I can do very well this year. Not only doing well at the national pageant, but also making sure that more people know about this pageant and what it's trying to do for girls. I would have to say I'm probably really good at fitness because I did win fitness overall. And it's also something I find super fun. I love staying physically active. And so being able to have a lot of energy and showing off some muscle sometimes, I really like doing. And it was just fun to present that to other people on stage.
And at Miss Teen Volunteer America, you have a talent show, a talent part. What is your talent?
My talent is ballet. I am planning on going on point this year, which I'm super excited about, but also a little bit nervous about. But I've grown up dancing, and I'm excited to show everyone something that I love to do and something that I think I'm pretty good at.
I have interviewed Miss Teen Volunteer in Hawaii, Miss Hawaii Teen Volunteer, and she is dancer, but not ballet. She is a hula hoop dancer. And you can make some ballet together.
I guess so. I'm most excited to see the girls. We actually have a group chat. We've been talking, and I've gotten to meet a couple of them from my pageant, but just being able to like see them, I've kind of stalked their Instagrams a little bit sometimes, but just being able to meet them, I'm so excited because we all have the same passion. We all want to empower young women. We all want to raise awareness to our platforms, and we all want to change the world. And I would just love to meet these women who are doing amazing things and people who are like me. I would have to say Mississippi. She was the one that actually crowned me. So I've gotten to know her a bit more. I've been able to talk to her. But she was someone that was so entertaining to listen to and someone that I love talking to. So I'd hope I'd be able to roommate with her, but really anyone. I'm super excited to just meet all of them. My platform is the Ronald McDonald House Built by Kindness. So I go over to the Ronald McDonald houses. I make meals for them through the Meals of the Heart program. I bring in donations, and recently I just joined the Red Shoe Club, which helps fundraise for the houses. My best memory, I was actually bringing in food during COVID because we couldn't bake anything, which is completely understandable, keeping everyone safe. But I was bringing in Krispy Kreme donuts to the houses, and I got to see this family leave from the Ronald McDonald House. And it was these set of twins, one boy and one girl. The girl had this huge bow in her head, and she was absolutely adorable and the most handsome baby boy I've ever seen. But I got to see them leave the houses, which was really nice for me because I knew that they got the help that they needed. They got the support that they needed through the houses and through people who are donating to it. So that was one of the best memories I had because it just made me feel so good about being able to contribute to the houses. Well, I know that a lot of people only really do, at least in my generation, they do a bunch of charity work through NHS or NJHS or Stuco. They do a bunch of work through that, but they don't do it really to help their community. They do it mostly just to get points so they can stay in it. But I've noticed that there has been a lack in charity work, and I think that people should be helping because it's something that's really helping our communities and just making everyone happy and a better place.
You say me you have baked in the McDonald's house. Are you a good chef in the kitchen?
I actually am. I'm more of a baker, but I do love making all types of food. I made this really good pasta one time. I added a little bit too much of red chili pepper, so it was very spicy, but I liked it. So I would say that was a win for me. But I love baking. I'm constantly in the kitchen making cookies, or one time I made a key lime pie. So good. I was so proud of myself making that. But yeah, I love baking so much.
On your Instagram, because you have Instagram, you have the generation of Instagram and TikTok. Maybe on TikTok, you create some recipe of baking.
I haven't, but I should. That sounds fun. I definitely will do that sometime.
And what is your best recipe, your best dessert?
My best desserts? I did make a chocolate pie once, and I love chocolate. So that was probably the best dessert that I made because I love chocolate and my family loves chocolate. And so we were all just so excited to eat it. And so that was the one I was most proud of, and also I found most delicious. So it was actually a very hard time. For me, I've got to form my own opinions during quarantine. Before, I was very much pushed around in my thoughts and what other people believed, and I would constantly be like, oh, that's a good point, but I'm not sure. And then someone else would say something, and I'd be like, oh, that's a good belief. But I was able to do research, figure out what I believe, and make my own opinions about things, which is something that was really important for me during the pandemic, because now I'm able to share my beliefs to others and just allow myself to have this relief of saying, this is what I believe, and if you don't, that is okay. I was able to bring stuff to the Ronald McDonald house through Duck Donuts and Krispy Kreme, so I was able to deliver food through them. I also brought cans to this box, and actually in my hometown, we have this box that's full of cans for families who need food who cannot buy them. So we brought and completely stocked the box so families could get the food that they needed. And we did that a couple times too. I would want to say that you can do it. You can do anything you set your mind to, because right now, before this pageant, I thought that I was just this shy girl from Missouri, and then I got on stage and I was so confident and so proud of myself of what I was able to put on stage. And so I would just tell everyone, no matter what you're feeling or no matter how hard you think something is, work hard, because you can achieve it and you can do what you want to.
You seem very exciting, very confident for this title. I imagine if you win, on the stage, it's the explosion of you cry, you are a lucky girl if you win the crown of Miss Teen Volunteer America.
Oh, I am a very sensitive person, and so I would just be bawling my eyes out. Oh my gosh, uncontrollable crying. I'd be over the moon excited.
This year is a special edition of Miss Teen Volunteer America because it's the first edition. And you make the history of Miss Missouri Teen Volunteer and of Miss Teen Volunteer America. Which kind of legacy do you want to leave behind you after you win?
I would like to leave, again, the legacy of you can always do it. It's something that you can work hard to be able to do. I wasn't really sure if I was actually going to win the title of Miss Missouri Teen Volunteer. So just being able to be here and being able to talk to you is such an amazing experience. And if you work hard, you really can achieve what you want to. I wouldn't say I'm the best candidate. I'm not completely prepared yet, but we still have a little bit of time. But I know that other girls are working just as hard as I am to hopefully win the title. The most difficult thing for me is probably making sure that I'm staying on task of everything, because I can get very distracted sometimes, whether that's I'm running through my talent and I'm like, oh my gosh, wait, I want to try this real quick. This looks really fun. Or reading through my paperwork, and then I'll see something and I'll be like, oh wait, and then completely forget what I'm doing. So just making sure that I'm staying on task and really making sure that I'm digging and focusing on what I need to do. Mine would have to say Heather Whitestone. She was Miss America 1982, I believe. She was a deaf woman who had done a point dance, and that was something that was really special to me because I do point, but she did it while she had no hearing in her ears. So she heard the vibration through the floor, which is something super interesting. But she is absolutely amazing, such a beautiful dancer and a wonderful person. And I really look up to her.
And in life, who is your role model?
I would have to say my grandma. She actually recently passed away, but she was the fiercest girl I ever knew. And I need to learn that from her because I was very shy, but I was able to learn from her and I've grown to be a more confident woman. But she was something else. I love her so much. But I learned a lot from her. She taught me to be a confident woman. She really taught me who I am today, and I'm super proud to have had her in my life.
What is your guilty pleasure in life?
My guilty pleasure is shoes. I love shoes so much, and sometimes I spend just a little bit too much money on shoes, but I love them so much that I can't really help it.
How many shoes have you?
Probably somewhere in the 30s or 40s.
Have you a favorite brand of shoes?
What was that?
Have you a favorite brand, a favorite mark of shoes?
I don't really know. I mean, I always find myself wearing tennis shoes a lot, but I always do love wearing a good heel, especially a little sassy one that might have a little bow on it. But yeah, really any type of shoes I'll wear, as long as they're cute.
What is your favorite color for your shoes?
Probably pink. Pink is my favorite color. I love that my sash is pink because it is my favorite color. Even though it does not match with absolutely everything, I kind of coordinate my outfit based off of my shoes. So I love shoes and I love the color pink. So just being able to match them together, it makes me so happy.
For the national, do you wear pink dress and pink shoes?
I mean, we haven't picked out my gown yet, but maybe.
What is your favorite TV series or movie?
My favorite TV series is probably Friends. I started watching that in like 7th grade, and then I rewatched it, I think about 5 times, and I loved it. And I was so sad when it got taken off of Netflix. I started crying because it was my favorite show. But that was definitely my favorite. I love light comedy, so being able to watch something like that was really nice.
What is your favorite book?
My favorite book would have to be Hour of the Bees. It's about this girl who, instead of spending the summer hanging out with her friends like she wanted to, she has to go over to her grandpa's house who has dementia. And a lot of crazy stuff happens that you would not think would happen. But it's a great book. And I don't find myself loving to read, but I said to myself, you're pushing through and you're finishing this book. And I was so happy that I pushed through because it was one of my favorite books that I've ever read. It would probably just be like something that my cat does, really anything, like just rubbing up against my leg or anything, because she does not like me. And I do not know why, but if she ever tried to comfort me in any way, it really makes me very happy because she noticed that something's wrong and she's trying to comfort me. And even though she does not like me, I love her dearly. My phone? I don't know. Probably, I would have to say the pictures in there. I love taking pictures, whether that's just funny pictures of what my friends are doing or pretty pictures of the sunset. There's something that really just brightens my day because I love going back through them and I'm like, wow, I remember that moment. I remember what I was doing there. It's just something that really brings me joy to look back on the good times.
Do you prefer Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat?
I would probably have to say TikTok. I do find myself spending hours a day on there, which I definitely need to fix. But I have a very entertaining For You page that constantly is grabbing my attention. So it's kind of hard to not watch it, but I'm getting better about not watching it always.
Do you think you can live without social media?
I think I could. I do not always use social media so much. Instead, I use text message, always talking to my friends or calling them. So I don't think it's something that I necessarily need. I know it's something that I find entertaining and sometimes are constantly looking at, but it's not something that I've always needed to look at constantly. That is a great question. I would probably change some of our math classes. I'm not a big math person. And I've also had math teachers that are just like, you don't always need this. So I would probably change some of the curriculum we learn in math because I don't always need to learn some of that stuff. So maybe changing it to be more personal finance or things that we really need and to learn in life, whether that's always math or really something else that could help us in life. But I would probably, not just math, but I'd probably change some curriculums in schools to make sure that people know what they're learning and they're able to do what they want in their life while being able to remain financially stable and being able to live in a good condition. I'd probably do a game show. I love being able to do a little bit of mindfulness, being able to show things off. So I'd probably do something like that. I'm not exactly sure what game show, but I definitely do some type of game show. So it's probably a trivia one because those ones are super fun and I love just having random information to answer. I would have to say the Muni. It is an absolutely beautiful theater. I think that at least anyone in Missouri or even any other state, they could come up because it is such a beautiful place. A beautiful outdoor theater. It can get hot sometimes, but the architecture is beautiful. The lakes, the trees, and everything around it is just stunning. And the shows that they put on are absolutely amazing. So I think that's something that everyone should at least see once in their life. Hi. Thank you so much for being a part of my life and supporting me. It's been a very crazy month almost. But I'm super excited to be able to go to nationals and be able to be a part of my community and be able to help the people around me. So thank you for supporting me and thank you for helping me.